Welcome to Tarot Tuesday for the week of January 20th. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. Take what resonates, and if this one doesn't work for you, go check out your other two signs videos. And so we have just entered into Aquarius season officially. And like I said last week, we had a heavy stellium moment that by the time we made it to this reading, we reached 3 planets in Aquarius, and Mars will be joining them on the 23rd. So that is where we are. And so Aquarius is that humanitarian of the zodiac that really wants to see the betterment for the world. But if you know Aquariuses in your real life, they tend to choose the road less traveled. They are very independent and do things their own way. And they are that peak air sign, so they are where all of us have collectively grown to in that highest intelligence frequency. And one thing that I read last week was about how people with higher IQs find it very, not just like they're not lonely, but they see through a lot of things. So we're in this Aquarius moment. That is where we are, is seeing through a lot of things and being that humanitarian, not putting up with bullshit. That is where the collective is peaking. And with Mars joining that stellium, that is where we're taking action from this week. On the 26th, we also have Neptune going into your sign, and it's an outer planet, so it's going to be there for quite a while. And so Neptune being the planet of our dreams, of our collective unconscious, and it's bringing those dreams into our reality in a way that we weren't maybe able to do with the Pisces and Neptune, yeah? Okay. So this week I'm using the Sedona deck. I got it as a birthday gift one year, and what I love about it is very, self-produced quality, which I love in the greatest way. And anybody who practiced any kind of spiritual work in the 90s, early 2000s remembers the papyrus font. Oh yeah, that's where we are today. So what does Aries have going on this week with the Sedona deck? Oh my God. Here we go. Pinion Pine, patience. So Aries, this is a time of, we are still technically, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, in winter mode. We are still in the year of the snake, where we are still shedding that last skin so that we can go meet that year of the horse, and that won't be till February 17th. So this card is asking you to be patient. The patience of the Pinion Pine is saying that it takes a while for a tree to get to this level. I know because I planted one in my parents' backyard, and it took at least a decade for this tree to establish, but trees have lifetimes that can span hundreds, thousands of years. So it's saying, Aries, don't be discouraged if you don't have immediate results of things. Sometimes things take time. That is where you're working from, because you also have Red Canyon, ancient and future energies. Yeah, and so on that patience of the tree, knowing that the lifetime of a tree looks different than a lifetime of, say, a person, of this whiny baby right over here, of say, a fly who maybe has 24 hours of life. So Aries, have patience and then really tap into that ancient energy of all that has brought you to where you are today. Your ancestors took thousands of people coming together to birth you at this time in the world. And the one thing that we need to remember is that we are healing ourselves for that past healing of all that brought us to where we are today, but we're also healing ourselves for the next generations to come, because that's one thing that we're moving away from, is this immediate gratification, this waste culture where we aren't thinking about how the future is going to live in our trash. you know? So we want to make sure that we leave the world better than we found it. Yeah, very simple. And look, you've got another tree, juniper, stand strong. Stand strong. Yeah, so Aries, you having two trees. Trees are the most close representation of people in the plant world. We have the symbolism of the tree of life, and it's where you can see that there's so much rooting necessary for a tree to establish and grow as it does. The tree, if you look at it, if you could see what is below the surface, is about, there's as much going on below the surface as there is above. So Aries, really this week digging deep for that deeper roots, that ancestral tie that you have to this land, to where you are now, because a lot of us are from all over the world and we've been transplanted. And the tree is asking you to really root into who you are via where you like physically are in the world. That is how trees, they cannot move. When you move trees, you diminish the way that they live. It really isn't good to move a fully matured tree. So Aries, how can you root yourself in the present moment that you are, so that you can find your highest light growth? Yeah, because trees are always growing up towards the light, most plants in general. And how can you be both that, rooted and striving for your highest goals right now? Yeah. All right, Aries. And so on that, like I did last week, I'm going to pull another card from another deck, and I'm using the Kuan Oracle, just because right now we're at a time where there's just a lot of imbalance between the yin and the yang, the feminine and the masculine. And Kuan Yin is the goddess of compassion, and she is asking us to really be present with ourselves. And how can we utilize these last few weeks until that Lunar New Year, that year of the horse starts? What is the best energy that we can use to reach that energy? And then so for you, Aries, here she is. Sacred River Yangtze. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Oh well. Just as the sacred river flows and changes course, you are too evolving in your divine path. Changes in the flow of energy within you and in the momentum of your unfolding life path are imminent. This is exciting. You are growing and changing, and soon your life circumstances will reflect your inner evolution. All right, so that's for you, Aries. I hope that helped. You can really hear that, yes, things are changing, Aries. The world is always shifting and growing. Every day is a new day. So, Aries, I hope that you do find that patience to really understand deeper yourself, your motives moving forward in life. And I'll see you next week. Bye.